Hello cousins, and welcome to another session of Honest Talk about Women, where you'll learn tips, tricks and strategies on how to navigate the minefields of dating and relationships. Don't forget to click on the like button, comment in the comment section, and also subscribe to the channel. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you have a story you want to share with viewers, please email me on my email address that's listed below. Today's story is about givers and takers. There's basically two types of people, givers and takers. There's people that give, and givers usually gain. So within your friend group, you'll come across people who are usually always giving, and it's got to be reciprocated. You've got to give back to them too. But before you start to give back, they've got to give themselves. Also, if you ever want some advice from some people, you will also always have to contribute and give something first if you want something in return. So there's givers and then there's takers. Now, takers are people that it's just all in for them. They don't reciprocate. They just take. And I've got an interesting story back in my early 30s when we had a good group of friends. We went out on a Friday night and we got rounds of drinks. And occasionally there was this lady in our group, I'll call her Jen, that always used to hang out with us. And I wouldn't say she was a good friend of myself, but she was a friend of mine. But she was a taker. And basically on a Friday night, we all arranged to meet 6, 7 o'clock after work to have a run of drinks. So when we'll get to the pub, we start shouting around the drinks and taking in turns. And I've got no problems with that. Back in those days when I did go to a pub, I don't do pubs anymore, but when I did go to a pub, it was quite reasonably priced to have a beer or a shout around of drinks. An average beer back then was about $8. Now it's about $20. So it's gone up quite considerably. And people's wages haven't gone up at the same time. So, and with inflation, they're worse off. We shout around her drinks, and when it comes to Jen's turn to shout around her drinks, she's not to be seen. And everyone goes, "Oh, it's Jen's turn to shout around her drinks." And I say, "Oh, she must be powdering her nose or gone to the toilet. This next round's on me." Anyway, end of the night, she used to come up to me and say, "Scott, can you give me a lift home?" And her place was in the opposite direction of where I lived, but she'd been with us all night, and to get her home safely, I thought doing the right thing, take her home, drop her off, go back to my house. So took her home, and she kept on talking about how she's only got about $40,000 left on her mortgage, and she's really keen to pay it off as quickly as possible. So, I said, "That's a great goal. Yep, if you can do that, go for it." So, dropped her off, went back to my house. And this occurrence occurred on a regular basis every Friday night. Went out with a group of friends. Sometimes there was 5 of us, sometimes there was 8 of us, but Jen was always there. And when it came to Jen's round of shouting drinks, she was nowhere to be seen. And you can say 1 or 2 times she's just gone off to seek a guy elsewhere or gone to the ladies' room or whatever, forgive her, keep the momentum going, shout around her drinks. But this happened 3 or 4 times in a row, and also the lift home at night 3 or 4 times. And it started to dawn on me, this is not a coincidence. She's a taker. And then it clicked that she's saving every nickel that she has to pay off her mortgage, and getting other people basically to pay off her mortgage by not shouting drinks or taking a lift home or an Uber expense. So I came down one Friday night. It was her turn to shout the drinks. She had gone, and instead of her paying for her round of drinks, we shouted the round of drinks, and she came back and there's no drink for her. And she said, "Hey, where's my drink?" And I just said, "The bar's over there, Jen." And she looked at me, eyes circulating, eyes going around in a circle, and she couldn't work that one out, and she was a little bit stunned. And then as the night continued, we're just drinking away, And then the night ended, and she came up to me and said, "Scott, same drill. Can you give me a lift home, please?" I said, "Get an Uber." And again, she just looked at me, and her eyes started to circle, and she was wondering why there's no lift home that night. But I left, and as the weeks went on, and when we went out for a drink that night on a Friday night, she didn't come. And we sent out a group text meeting at a certain place at a certain time, but she didn't show up. And that's where you got to eliminate people that are in your circle of friends that are takers. I have very few takers in my circle of friends, but back then in my early 30s, I thought I was doing the right thing, paying for her around, giving her a lift home, but in reality I was just basically paying a mortgage off. She was being a tight ass, she wasn't contributing, she wasn't paying her way, and also other people were making comments about it. So you've got to hit the nail on the head, guys. No takers in your circle group of friends. They've all got to be givers, and you've got to, and givers gain. Absolutely. So that's my tip, guys. If you're in a circle of friends, do evaluate you guys. Do contribute in your group, and keep giving back to those that are givers. But you will come across takers in life, guys, and those people need to be eliminated from your group. They're just focused on themselves, purely takers, and they never give everything, never give anything. So that's the tip for today. If you can click on the like button, comment in the comment section, subscribe to the channel, it helps with the YouTube algorithm. And if you have a story to tell, please email me below on my email address. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.